album. That's The Rushes and Ripping It Down on the Steve Show, BBC Six Music. Later on the show we will be meeting my replacement for 4 weeks. I can chat with him, and also listeners back on the phone to choose tunes, plus more music that we've enjoyed over the last X months. How much really work out how many months it is that we've been on? Seven. All right, 7 months. Note to self. Back after the news. It's the Steve Show, BBC Six Music, with me, Stephen Merchant, and we are playing tunes that we have discovered and enjoyed over the last 7 months, because we are about to take a 4-week hiatus back on the 1st of September. And regular listeners will know that one of our regular contributors is web guru Vic Sharma, who stays ahead of the curve by scouring the web for new tunes. And I'm going to probably play a few of his choices today. And that was one of them, CRS, Child Rebel Soldier, which is Kanye West, Pharrell Williams and Lupe Fiasco rapping over a Tom York sample. And the track was called US Places and was released by Kanye in a mixtape thingy called Can't Tell Me Nothing earlier sometime in the year. So yes, here we are, the mob are still with me, and earlier we were talking about moral conundrums that we have faced, and I threw it out there to you, the callers. A lot of you, of course, deeply despicable people. Harry, you've received a few emails and texts.
We have, yeah. Danny in Manchester, who's been listening for the entire 7.5 months we've been on air.
God bless him.
Yeah, he had a moral conundrum. His girlfriend is incredibly arachnophobic to the extent that she can't stay in a room if there's a spider in it. She woke up in bed 3 a.m. and says, "Danny, there's a spider in the room, get it out of here." So he looks around for this spider, can't find it. If there was one, it's long since scuttled away. But because she won't go back into the room without an assurance that the spider's gone, he pantomimes an elaborate glass, a bit of cardboard and a swirl of black fluff routine to convince her that he's rushing downstairs and disposing of said spider. She hates the idea of killing anything, so he's no need to provide a body. Did he do the right thing, or is he beyond all hope of redemption?
Right thing.
I think it's a very noble thing to do.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that it was that elaborate, and they actually bothered with the fluff. The piece of fluff seems a step too far. My concern would be if this was perhaps in the outback that they were camping, and she'd spotted quite a gruesome large spider. Perhaps then it's probably more. You probably should have a sniff around with a torch. Was it through his laziness, or just because he couldn't find the spider?
He couldn't find the spider, and I think he did it out of his own goodwill to keep her happy. At 3 a.m, that's a hell of a call.
I think that's very, very sweet indeed. My only other concern is she listening now?
Yeah, probably.
Again, he's made a terrible terror.
Sorry, Danny.
If that's the case. I think it. Yeah, well, that's one of those instances where it's for the greater good, isn't it? I think. Namely that he can get back to sleep because of her whinging. Oh, for goodness me. The arachnophobia thing, I find it very hard to relate to that. I'm not a man really who have any phobias. I do have one. I'm genuinely scared of really tiny people stabbing my eyes out. I have a terrible fear of someone with like a sort of wild, crazed child with a spike.
How could they reach your...
Well, this is my hope. This is why I'm hoping. Well, this is the nature of these irrational fears, isn't it?
Right.
Even though it's very unlikely,
yeah,
one has those anxieties. I'm genuine because I'm very anxious about my eyes. I don't want to, I don't want to lose my eyes.
But Steve,
I'm very nervous about losing
different to most of the population there, of course.
But you see a spider, you don't like the look of it, you decide you don't like spiders.
Yeah, I don't like the look of a child with a pole with a spike on the end.
How often do you see them?
Listen, I went to a rough school.
The child has a pole with a pointed stick on the end.
Yes. Oh my God, I didn't even thought of that. But yeah,
children with poles with sticks on the end aiming your eyes. That's your only phobia.
Sports day and javelin.
What's that?
Is that not a children's sports day and javelin throwing?
Yeah, no.
Is it only small people stabbing your eyes out, or just full-size people stabbing your eyes out?
They can sneak around. They're sneaky, aren't they, small people?
Wait a minute.
They're sneaking.
At school it would also be people collecting the flags after rugby, taking the flags out of the pitch. So javelin, rugby flags, it's just a fear of sport, isn't it, Steve? Physical activity.
I do have a fear of sport. To be fair, on the first day when we went to high school and we had to do cricket for the first time, I was just about to pack up and go, and my mother said, "Now be careful, because I knew I was knocked out once by a cricket ball. It came flying through the air, I got knocked out by it." I thought, right, thanks for mentioning that, Mum. Then I remember going to play rugby for the first time, and she went, "Now be careful, because I knew a guy who broke his back playing rugby." I'm thinking that's part of my fear. It's all very well kind of making sure I'm prepared.
Does she know anyone who had their eyes stabbed out?
From an album of songs based on a Japanese folktale, that's The Crane Wife by the Decemberists, from an album that we experienced since the show has been on air. It's the Steve Show, BBC Six Music, with me and my gang of people. And of course, each week we have a listener on as well who recommends a tune to me. And I'm very pleased to welcome back one of our favourite callers in the past. I don't know how many times she's been on now, but we've always enjoyed her company. It's Zena. A little round of applause, please. For Steve Wright Style. Not one of those. Hello, Zena. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
And when did we first speak to you?
January 28th. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Oh, and you've obviously popped it in the diary. Was it a Dear Diary moment?
yeah, it was.
Zena, just remind us of who you are and what makes you tick.
Okay, I recently turned 18. I love music. I love comedy, which is basically why I listen to this show.
Sure.
And I'm going to hopefully go to university in September to study English and politics.
So I'm a bit out of the loop now. Where are you with results and studies and exams and stuff?
Exams are over, thank
Right.
God, and results are coming out August 16th.
Oh, what a shame. We could have got you on as you open the envelope like they always do on morning TV. We've got 3 people, and that's one of the cruelest things I've ever seen when they got, it's Keith Chegwin in Chepstow with some teenagers on GMTV.
They generally only get the smart kids, though.
You'd hope so, wouldn't you? It would be much more interesting to have the absolute numbskulls, wouldn't it? Yeah. All off to the Sainsbury's checkout for you. Off you go. Did you feel that it went well?
Yeah, I suppose they went all right. I mean, I was just happy to get them out of the way. I'm really sorry, though. I know you gave me a quote for Shakespeare, and in my panic in the exam, I completely forgot to put it in.
Oh, that is a bit sloppy. And and what were the different subjects you did?
English, politics, and economics.
Oh, blimey! And so, if it goes well for you, where will you be heading?
York, hopefully.
And to study what?
English and politics.
Okay, and so what grades do you need?
AAB.
Oh, that's tricky.
That's a big ask, isn't it?
That's really tricky. So this is because there's natural drama now in this. I'm genuinely excited to find out how you get on. Will you come back on the? Oh, you can't because we're off air. Oh well. So what have you been up to? So is school finished? What's happening? Are you just enjoying the summer? Are you just?
Yeah, I mean, my relatives are around, and obviously they want to see a bit of London, but every time we want to go out, it just rains, and we're stuck inside the house all day, so I can't really enjoy the summer as much as I would have hoped.
I was coming along the Euston Road in London the other day, and I saw hordes of people, despite the rain, queuing up for Madame Tussauds, something that I've never understood. Never understood the appeal for Madame Tussauds.
Actually, it's funny that you mention it, because my cousin really wants to go, and, I mean, tickets are way overpriced, and I really can't be bothered.
But once you've seen, an artificial Kylie Minogue, and you've had your photos taken next to an artificial Jack the Ripper,
yeah.
I think a model him, I don't know who he's based on, probably an actor like Rufus or something. Wouldn't it be great if Rufus's face was Jack the Ripper, with just a giant moustache? That would be fantastic.
I'm slightly out of left field.
Well, I've got slightly beady eyes. Well, I imagine that's what they said of Jack the Ripper. Lovely guy, slightly beady eyes. But I can't understand it, because I'm assuming it costs a fortune to get in. You wander around, you have your photo taken with artificial celebrities, and do you go back then to your friends, rather like when someone's got a fake Rolex and nowadays proudly says, "Oh, fake"? Is it the same as, "Oh, not even the real Robbie Williams"?
Yeah, I mean, it just seems a bit pointless to me.
Like
really,
what?
I don't know if we'll end up going. And she also wants to go in the London Eye, but
that's another. Oh, it's such a bore.
No, that is good.
No, the London Eye's
no,
sure.
It's great. It's great up to the top, and then the next 20 minutes as you come down is just a waste of your life.
Zena, have you done the London Eye?
No, I haven't.
Don't bother, seriously. Do you know the problem is that I was expecting it to be like something from Disneyland. So I thought there'd be sort of pirates attacking it or something, or like a giant Godzilla would come out of the Thames, but nothing. It just trundles up, trundles down, and if it's a cloudy day, waste of time.
No,
I got to see
I got
to see St Paul's Cathedral from slightly higher up. What's that? Say that again?
I can get the same thing for free just standing on Embankment Bridge.
I agree.
My mum was very disappointed with it. She was convinced it didn't move. She was looking at it saying, "Well, it's not moving. I thought it'd move more than this." She expected it to be like a Ferris wheel going round and round and round.
That
and
would be
round.
fantastic if it just came off of its axle and just wandered off down the Thames. Oh, that'd be fantastic. Now, but I have to say, maybe I'm being unduly negative, but having been to a few places in the world, I don't understand. I just think our tourist attractions are not as thrilling as, fake plastic celebrities, a slow wheel.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think London has its charms. I just don't think the actual tourist attractions like the London Eye actually do it. But just kind of walking around London and seeing bits of places like Brick Lane and, the Houses of Parliament and that kind of thing, I think that has a certain...
Oh, that's exciting. No, that's absolutely exciting. You're right. And I think just London itself, walking across the bridges as sunsets. Beautiful. Okay, so which I needed to try and bring it back in case Ken Livingstone or someone's listening. So which tune are you going to choose for us? Because as I say, we're playing tunes that we have sort of found and discovered over the last 7 months. Is this one that you've dug up during that time?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of from the new rave movement that's kind of swept the nation over the past year. It's by
Well, you say swept the nation.
Who's been around?
It's been written about in the NME.
Yeah, like a few months now, and yeah, I mean, I really like it. It's the new race thing though. It's quite strange because 2 years ago, if you'd proposed it to me, I would have absolutely hated it, and it's kind of gotten to the point now where just random noises constitute music. But yeah, I mean, it's enjoyable. I suppose when you're in a dark room with lots of smoke and lights and bright colours and stuff, it's very enjoyable. And the thing about this band is that their lyrics are absolutely incredible if you can hear them over the grimy music.
So which tune have you chosen?
Liquid Lives.
From Hadouken?
Yeah.
Alright, let's hear it. Stay there, Zinat.
Cool.
Liquid Lives from Hadouken, the choice of caller Zinat. It's a song which has divided the room, Zinat, you'll be interested to know.
Really?
Everyone likes it except Rufus, who thinks it's a racket. The sort of sound he'd hear coming from a dodgy neighbour, perhaps if he was forced to go to a council estate. I don't know why, but I thought it was cracking, Zinat. And are you a new raver yourself?
Yeah, in my room.
You're into it then?
We're obviously all very excited now and wish you well for the exam results. And I have the urge to sort of get you back on when we come back in September to find out how you got on. Although I suppose there's part of me that wishes you could save it until then. Any chance you could keep the envelope sealed until early September?
You know what? I'll try and resist the urge to open it.
If you would, or at least recreate it for us. Thank you very much indeed for getting in touch again, and we'll speak to you soon, hopefully.
Okay, brilliant.
Thank you so much, Jeanette.
All right, then, bye.
Cheers. A little round of applause again in the Steve Wright style for Zinat, because she's an absolute joy, and I always feel like we should whenever Sammy is sort of unwell or just feeling too northern.
Don't will illness upon
No, you're right. That would be madness. But no, I genuinely that would be madness. I do apologise. But I just mean, if circumstances should ever be such that you were unable to come down, for maybe you just fallen out with me because I just said this thing now.
It's likely.
Yes. Then we could possibly wheel in Xena, or not. Who knows? We don't know how it's going to work. I don't know why I mentioned it. It's just filling up time. What was I going to say? Something. Oh yes. How do people get in touch if they want to recommend tunes? Dan, you can be the one who tells us.
Okay, they go to the website and they click various links.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Great, and it's only taken us the 7 months to master that. But there we are. So yeah, if you want to recommend a tune, then go to the website. It's funny that we're talking to Titch because it's time for your choice of music, songs that have charmed you over the last 7 months.
Yes, The Bird and the Bee, again and again. This was one that heard it first time, thought, it's quite nice. And then I stumbled across it on a music channel and thought, this is sensational, I know this one, what is it? And it's one of those that it just sort of gets in your brain, and it's got the things I like, the ethereal loveliness. It's got, I think there's some drums in it, so I do like that. And why don't we just listen to it?
Let's just hear it.
Just hear it, yes.
So again and again from The Bird and the Bee was Dan's choice on this Steve show, this kind of halfway mark this year. As I say, we're taking 4 weeks off for other important stuff, just taking care of admin and things. There's an awful lot of it that accumulates when you're busy every Sunday, because a Sunday is when you're normally doing your ironing and stuff. I've just got loads of ironing to do for 4 weeks. But we'll be back the 1st of September. And as I say, today we're just playing tunes that we've enjoyed over the last few months while we've been on air. And just before I forget, I must just quickly get this information clarified, because earlier I was talking about my my fear of tiny people with spikes poking my eyes out, and again, I think the glasses is a useful sort of barrier there. That's one thing that always makes me feel a lot more comfortable that I wear glasses. They'd have to get those nasty spikes through my lenses, which just try it, tiny people, just try it. But you've got an irrational fear, is that right, Sammy?
I don't have an irrational fear. My mum has an irrational fear on my behalf. She used to go horse riding as a child, and a girl in her horse riding club had her nose kicked off by a horse.
Had her nose kicked off?
Had it clean kicked off her face, and I can't ride horses because of that. And I'm perfectly happy, because that really